What's going on, guys? I am Wolfe, and today I'm back with another episode of Cheap Cuts. This time we're doing actually a combination of two positions, and we're going to be a combo of right end and left end, obviously combined into one as called defensive end, or whatever you want to call it, but I'm going to call it defensive end. Makes the most sense. The players at each position are very interchangeable. You can honestly, most of the time, just swap them between, and they generally don't lose many stats, and sometimes even get better. So, I decided to combine them. I thought it was the best idea instead of making separate ones for left end and separate ones for right end, because generally the same concepts apply to each position. So obviously your styles won't change. So if you're using a right end with a certain style, his style will not carry over if you move him to left end. So just be aware of that. That's pretty much the only downside. But I know most people don't really care too much about style, so I don't think it's going to be a huge issue. So the three categories we have today are actually block shed, speed, and all around. And of course, we're going to keep the same price format we used for the last few episodes, around 10K or under 10K, I should say, and then under 50K. So it should be a good episode. I got some great options for you guys, and I'm sure you guys know a couple of them already because they're very well known in the community. But I wanted to make sure I include them in the episode so you guys know exactly who we're talking about. But first up, we're going to get started with block shed. The first guy I want to look at, he's under 10,000 coins on the block shed tier of defensive ends, and he's actually a left end, is the Stephon Tuitt, 84 overall team of the week from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Very good card for the price, only going for around 6.5, maybe 7K on Xbox One. That's not bad at all. Take a look at his stats. He's 6'5", which is kind of nice. Height's not usually a big thing in defensive ends, but if you have the height, it's nice to have it. 78 speed isn't too bad. That's pretty much average for the league. 86 excel is pretty solid. And then we got 91 tackle, 95 block shed. That's one of the highest block shed ratings I was able to find for a player that was actually pretty cheap. And then 89 power move, which isn't great, but it's still pretty solid. I've seen players with like 80, 84 power move. So 89 power move is actually pretty darn good. But the 95 block shed is just crazy high. This card is very solid. I'm thinking about picking him up as a backup just because he's so good. But if you're rocking a budget team, or maybe you just don't have a ton of coins to ball out, he's a great card. And I would recommend him for either left end or right end, whichever one you want. He's going to do the job. He's pretty quick with the 78 speed and 86 excel. Obviously not like super fast, but the 95 block shed and 89 power move are going to get him to the quarterback and get him in the backfield to stop runs and things like that. This is a great card. Next up, under 50,000 coins this time, is actually Chandler Jones, right end, team of the week from the New England Patriots, of course. This card, there's only two up on Xbox One, going for around 40K, and then another one up for 80K. I do think, MUT says it sells for around 26,000 coins, and I don't think it should sell for even this high, this 39,500, which is the lowest right now on Xbox One. It's just going to be a little bit rare because it's from week 8, so, this card is great, but just be aware, if he's not up for a good price when you're looking originally, just kind of wait on it a little bit, and I'm sure he'll pop up eventually, because this card really should not sell for much more than maybe 30K. So right here, 6'5", again, better speed and better excel than Tuitt with 82 and 88 excel. A little bit worse block shed at 89, but much better power move at 97. That's crazy. So I'm pretty sure those are pretty much going to offset each other. Now the block shed, I love to look for block shed. It's like my favorite stat in the whole game. But 89 is very solid still. Very, very good block shed stat. Along with the 97 power move is just insanely high. That's one of the highest you're going to get, obviously. I mean, it's only 2 off the highest you can get. So Chandler Jones, a very good card. And like I said, just be patient with this card. If it's not up for a price that you want to spend, I would just wait on it. And like I said, it should not sell for much more than maybe 30K. Now moving on to speed, and the first one we have is Darius Smith, or Darius Smith. I'm not actually honestly sure how to say his name. He's going for around 12K on Xbox One. That is a little bit higher than the 10K barrier that I set, but just like Chandler Jones, I do think he should sell for a little bit less. Let's see what week he was from. He's from week 2, so honestly, he's going to be kind of rare. I'm not going to lie about that, but he really should not sell for much more than maybe 8,000 coins at this point in the game. But just be aware that maybe you'll have to spend 11 or 12K, but it's still worth it in my opinion. So 85 overall, like I said, 6'2", 87 speed, 93 excel. That is crazy high. That's exactly why I put him in the speed tier. Obviously, he's not the fastest guy in the world. 87 speed is not, absurd. It's very high for a DN. Let's get that straight. But the 93 excel, that's pretty much the most important stat when you're looking for speed on a defensive end, because for the most part, they're not going to get to their top speed because all they're doing is rushing the quarterback. So in the 2 seconds it takes to get to the quarterback, the main attribute you're looking for is acceleration, and he has 93 excel, which is very, very high. Highly recommend this card. The only downside for this card is that he only has 80 block shed. That's kind of low in my book. I wish that was a little bit higher, but he still has 94 finesse move, so he's got some offsetting characteristics that are very solid. And like I said, he's just super fast, and hopefully he'll be able to make a lot of plays on your line. Next up in speed is actually under 50,000 coins this time, and it's actually a captain. Oh, only going for around 38,000 coins. Jerry Hughes, very solid card, and highly recommend him. So yeah, 38k on Xbox One. Maybe you're on 40 or 45 would be pretty much the tops I'd pay for him. But pretty solid, 85 speed, which is a little bit lower than Smith that we just looked at, but he's got 91 excel, which is also a little bit lower, but I pretty much picked this card because it's much more balanced. So he has better block shed, only by 2, but it's still helpful, better play rec by a lot, and then much better finesse move. 98 finesse move is super high. Now, personally, I'm not a huge fan of finesse move, but if you're looking for speed rushers, they're generally going to be finesse move guys. So Jerry Hughes, I think, is a pretty darn good option. Better block shed, better finesse, better play rec than Smith, and only marginally worse speed. So I do think he's probably a better option in totality, but overall, either one is a great option. It just depends on what you want. Hughes is more of a balanced guy, whereas Smith is more of a pure pass or pure speed guy, I should say. Now moving over to all around, first up under 10,000 coins, we have Derek Wolfe going for right at 5,500 coins. Very solid price. This Team of the Week edition, Derek Wolfe, left end, of course. He's 6'5", 76 speed, so not the craziest speed, but 88 excel offsets that very well. Very good acceleration. 89 block shed, and 90 power move. So overall, all those stats are very solid. They're nothing crazy, but you're not expecting anything crazy because he only goes for 5,000 coins. This card is very, very solid. 92 tackle. He's going to be able to make sure he wraps up, doesn't miss anybody, and 82 play rec really isn't that bad either. So the 90 power move, 89 block shed, 88 excel, and 92 tackle, all pretty much focus on just being a very solid player. Very good backup if you already have, great players on the line. Or honestly, he could be a starter even, just given the fact that he has such solid stats. He's a very good card. Now under 50,000 coins, you guys had to know he was coming. Darius Smith, the Rising Star Edition. This card is a phenomenal beast. He's so good. And here we go. So first up, I wanted to let you guys know exactly what he goes for on Xbox One at least. Right now he would sell for around 50k. Pretty much when you combine them. So right now it's 23,000 coins and 25,000 coins. Me personally don't care too much about the style that he uses, although I would recommend you use opposite styles just so he's an 87 overall. If you use the same style, for instance, if you bought these two run stuff guys right here, then he would only be an 86 overall. So be aware of that. You do need 2 of these gold ones for one of his elite ones, and I'm going to show you his elite card in just a second, but it goes for around 48 to 50k, so it is pretty much at the top of our bracket, but honestly, even up to 60 or maybe even 75k, this card is worth it. He is my starting right end right now on my team, which is pretty darn stacked in my opinion. Like, I have a pretty good team, I'm not going to lie. I have 3 million coins, I'm a 94 overall, it's a very good team, and he is my starting right end right now, despite the fact that he's actually a left end. He's a 93 at right end. And this card's a monster. So 86 speed is very high, 93 excel is very high, 93 tackle also very high, 95 block shed. That matches the highest block shed I showed you guys within the block shed tier for Stefan Tuit, I believe. 93 power move is very good as well. He also has 79 finesse move just because, like, why not, I guess. This card's just super juiced, and 83 play rec. So a very good card. Highly recommend him. Compare him to, Jarrell Casey, who actually plays right end, and he just clobbers him. Jarrell Casey's actually a guy I considered putting in this episode, and Smith just destroys him. So Smith has the block shed, the power move, the excel, and the speed. This card is so good. I can't emphasize that enough. I would highly recommend paying up for this card, even if you have to pay like 60k, maybe even 70k. He is absolutely worth it, as he is pretty much the best value right end or left end in the entire game. So that'll do it for the video, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like down below, and let me know if any left ends or right ends you thought I missed out on and I should have included. Of course, let me know what you want next. Next episode will actually be on offense, so let me know what you want to see there. Also, be sure to check out all the other Cheap Cuts episodes. The links will all be in the description for you guys, and you can check those out down there. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later.